welcome to my favorites video. I haven't done one of these in a little while, but I've been really enjoying some products and items, so I thought I would share them with you today. If you like this video, please give it a like and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Or if you would like to check out my other social media, the links to all of those are down in the description below, along with my Etsy shop and my GoFundMe. Alright, so let's off to the video. Alright, so I have a lot of items today, so I'm super excited to share those with you. And I have some food and health related stuff. I've got crystals and decks, and then I have some fashion items and some spiritual tools. Alright, so I think I'm going to start off with the crystals because they're closest to me here. I just wanted to go through the current crystals that I've been using most in my practice and explain a little bit about why I've been using them recently and how they've been working for me. So the first piece is something that I've been using. I got this for Christmas from my mother, and I use it during all of my Reiki sessions, and I use it to cleanse rooms, and it's this large piece of selenite, and I absolutely adore this piece. I was actually able to pick it out and my mom bought it for me for Christmas, like I said, and this is just so healing. I put it under my Reiki table when I work with clients, and I feel like it just ramps up all of the cleansing and healing in any session. So this is a piece that I've been just obsessed with since Christmas, and so I wanted to show that to you. I highly recommend getting a big piece like this because it's really amazing, like just to put in a room or even just to sit with. It really is just unbelievably, it feels so good. And I got this for like $30, so it really wasn't that bad. So I highly recommend it. Selenite's not super expensive, so I highly recommend getting one of those. Alright, so to continue with the selenite trend, I have this little piece. I've had this for a few years now. I got it before I went to Australia, and I use this piece specifically when I'm doing readings, and I use it to cleanse my deck. So in between readings and things like that, ooh, little piece is falling off. That's one thing about selenite, you guys, though, like it's really fragile. So, and you don't want to put it in water because it will like dissolve. So in between readings, I'll put this on my deck and cleanse it. And so this piece I really love as well. So selenite, huge crystal for me right now. The next piece is my piece of stilbite, which I only have one of these. I got this for myself for my birthday, and it's absolutely lovely. And this has continued to be one of my favorite pieces since then. When I hold it, I just feel so light and clear, I guess, and very peaceful. So I'm really loving stilbite right now, and I think I got this for like $10, which is kind of amazing. So really loving that. The next type of crystal I've been using a lot is Labradorite, which I have found that Labradorite is really like particular with when it wants to be used. I won't use a piece of Labradorite for a while, and then all of a sudden it will want to be used all the time and want to go places with me and things like that. And so this piece specifically has really connected with me recently. I've taken it to do readings, and it's just been really lovely. I've been really enjoying it. I find it really empowering. And also an uplifting stone. So I've been using this Labradorite. So next is one of my favorite, my boobs are falling out. One of my favorite pieces of clear quartz. I was actually gifted this by the Atlantis King, also known as Tyler Saunders, when I was in Australia right before I left. And he gave this to me as a going away present, which made it even more special because he doesn't have a huge crystal collection, but the crystals he does have, they're very sacred to him. And so I think this is one of the biggest crystals he has. And he, you know, he just showed up and was like, hey, I want to give you this. And I was just like, oh my God, that's so sweet. And it makes it extra special because you guys know he's a part of spirit science, and spirit science was really what started me on my spiritual journey. So it was a really cool thing. Also, spirit science got me into crystals. So to have one of the guys from spirit science give me one of his personal crystals is just really special, and it is one of my favorite crystals. I bring this on readings as well, so I absolutely adore this, and it is one of my favorites. The next type of crystal I've been working with is Rhodonite, and it's really interesting. I got this recently, this piece. I don't have a lot of pieces of Rhodonite. I think I have like two or something like that, like a couple. This was given to me by an amazing artist named Barbara Rutz, and she was moving out to Colorado, and she was giving away a lot of stuff, and I saw this crystal and I was just so drawn to it. And this crystal, I find, kind of like the Labradorite, really like speaks to me and will want to be with me. And in the last few days, it's just like gravitated for me to like have it with me a lot. And so it's really a very loving stone. It's very balancing. It's really about like helping relationships be yummy and just very healing and help stabilizing. It's very heart chakra centered. So I've really been enjoying this piece. Now this, if you guys have seen my Instagram, you may have seen this. I think in some of my vlogs I may have mentioned it. This is Moonstone, and I picked this up from one of my favorite shops in town, Sacred Tree Herbals, and I'm going to mention them a couple other times because it's just amazing. So it's an apothecary near where I live, and this is a moonstone. So this is a much more raw moonstone. I know a lot of people recognize it as like that white or blue, but this is more of a raw moonstone, and I was just really drawn to this, and I bring this with my reading when I'm reading as well. And by reading, I mean tarot reading. If you guys have just come to my channel, I mean tarot reading. And I find Moonstone really heightens my psychic abilities, and so I really love having it around when I am doing psychic work and when I am doing readings, because even though I can do them without it, I think this just even heightens it even more, and like, why not have that extra boost? So this piece I've been really enjoying. And the last two pieces are actually the same type of stone, but I just wanted to show you the two that have been really important to me. So this one here is red jasper, and I have been really enjoying this because I've been having a really hard time with grounding, and so this has been really, really great for me. I have been also bringing this while reading, and then just keeping it with me. It's been really, really helpful to help me center and ground. And my vlogs are kind of behind right now, so this will be like, I filmed them already, but they'll be going up in the future. I've been having a really hard time with grounding, so, and that'll be explained more in future vlogs. So this has been really helpful. And then also I got this crystal from Sacred Tree Herbals, and this is another piece of red jasper, which I have just been loving, and it's just so healing. And it's kind of warm out today, so all these feel really good. And this I wanted to say is like an extra like favorites. I have a couple of these. Let me see if I can put it in here. You can see this here. It's one of these like crystal pouches. I got this at the shop I worked at in Australia, and these are so convenient. You can buy them online. I forget what they're called exactly, but I'm sure you can kind of search like what it is. It's like crystal pouch, or you know. And so you can put whatever crystals you want in here. And so I find this really, really helpful when I want to have a specific crystal with me. All right, so up next are the decks I'm currently using. And I wanted to, again, kind of like as an extra favorite. I don't know why I'm saying extra. It is a favorite. Let me see if I can do this. I'm going to take the deck out of it first, so I'm not like just throwing it all over the place here. Oh, this is also kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? This is kind of an honorable mention. I was given this piece of Unakite by my friend Brooks, and I haven't been using it a lot, but I picked it up a few days ago, and it has just been a really lovely energy. So this is a beautiful piece of Unakite that I brought on my reading table the other day. Anyway, so this is another one of my favorites. My best friend Marielle gave this to me when she moved to Hawaii. It's this little, like, I think it's for soap. I think this was for, oh, it's for perfume. And shea butter soap. Okay, so it's both. And this has been absolutely perfect. If you can see, it like opens like that. This has been amazing for when I'm going and doing readings because it holds perfectly my Shadowscapes and Tarot Vampires decks, like perfectly fits. Or I've been bringing my main reading deck. So this has been like really awesome because I don't like, some of the boxes are like far too big, or I don't have the boxes anymore, so this has been like a lifesaver, and it's like a perfect height for the deck, so that's been awesome. Alright, so up next are my current working decks. So some of these I think you guys will recognize, some of them I haven't mentioned. Before I get into this, one of my other favorites, which isn't like a physical item, but I'm just absolutely obsessed with, is this idea of, is this thing called Tarot Swap. And if you go on Facebook, you can find a bunch of different groups, and you like ask to join. And basically what you do is, if you're into tarot or oracle, you go on and post the tarot or oracle decks you don't want anymore, you're not working with, and you post the ones that you're looking for and also the ones you want to give away. And then people will just message you and say, hey, I have this deck, do you want to trade? And sometimes it's the decks you're looking for, sometimes it's not, and you just have a conversation with them, say yes, no, whatever, and then basically you just ship each other the decks. So instead of having to buy a whole new deck and still have a deck you don't use, you just ship the deck and they ship you the other one and you have this whole new deck. And it's a great way to get decks that, you know, are no longer in print, or just ones that you just don't want to spend, you know, $30, $40, $50 on. You can get it for 10 or 15, you know, depending on where you're shipping to. And it's absolutely awesome. A lot of times it's good to trade with someone in like your country because it's a lot easier and less expensive. I've traded with people in Europe and it's a lot of money. But anyway, so I'm actually going to be doing, after I finish putting up my tarot collection video, I'm going to be doing a video on all the decks that I have traded, well, received at least. And so one of the decks that I've been using a lot, actually, yeah, one of the decks that I've been using a lot, actually two of them kind of, one of them I haven't been using as much, is one of the decks I traded. So I'm super excited to show that to you guys. So yeah, so I'm going to do a video on all the decks that I have recently traded, and I'm getting another one really soon. I'm so freaking excited. It's a deck that I've been wanting for literally ages, so maybe I'll wait till I trade that one. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Okay, anyway, so the first deck, and I know I've been mentioning this so much, but I can't help it, it's like my favorite deck right now, is the Bonefire Tarot, and I'm just so in love with this deck. And it's just, let me see if I can show you guys. It's just amazing. And this is my current, like, full-time reading deck. So I hope this is clear. If it's not, I'll have to film a little thingy. See, this has been my main reading deck, and I'm just absolutely in love with it. Alright, so up next are the decks that I have been using on my altar for the last several months, and they have just become a part of my weekly and daily practice, so I wanted to show you those as well. Alright, so the first one is the Quan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and this is the deck I'm using to connect with my goddess Quan Yin. She recently became like one of my matron goddesses. I haven't like officially dedicated to a goddess, I don't think I ever will, but she is one of my two main goddesses, the other being the Lady Isis. The Lady Isis was my main goddess, but this year I'm really working on gentleness and self-love and just being more peaceful. So the Lady Quan Yin stepped forward as my main working goddess, and then the Lady Isis stepped back a bit, but she's still definitely my main goddess for sure as well. So this is the Quan Yin Oracle, and I've been using this a lot. I pull a card from it every week to really center into that energy for my practice, and it has been amazing. So this is one of the decks that I got in one of those trades, and this is called Soul Cards, or Soul Cards 1, because there's a second one which I really, really want to get. This first Soul Cards deck is a little darker, whereas the second one is a bit lighter. But basically this deck comes with no guidebook, no keywords, and basically you just completely go intuitively on what you feel the card is telling you. And this has been a really awesome way to delve into my intuition and just see like the beautiful art and to connect with, again, my intuition and my guides. This is kind of the deck I used for what are my guides telling me specifically, you know, not my like specific goddesses, but you know, what are my other guides telling me. So this has been a really cool deck to work with. This is one of the decks that I had on my wish list, so this has been a really awesome deck to work with, and I'm kind of glad that I just didn't immediately go out and get Soul Cards 2 as well, because I really want to get to know this deck before I step into the second one. The second one has a different color back, but it's the exact same size, so a lot of people do mix them, which I think is kind of cool. These two decks are Avalon from Avalon's Spiritual Odysseys, like one of her favorite decks, and she uses them in like every reading. So I was really excited to delve in and see what all the hype was about, and it's a really, really cool deck, so I've been really enjoying that. Alright, so the next deck, unsurprisingly, is the Isis Oracle by Alana Fairchild, and let's see, And I've showed this deck many, many times. Again, this is my other matron goddess, and I just absolutely adore this deck. This is a really, like, you could pick one of these cards a month and it would just like change your month kind of decks. This is very hard hitting. Of course, it's exactly like the Lady Isis. A lot of Fairchild channels the goddesses so that when she's writing, it's really like from like the goddess. So it's really an amazing deck to work with. Same with the Quan Yin Oracle and all of that. So this is, and I'm also obsessed with ancient Egypt and things like that. It's really important in my practice as well. So I just really love this deck. And the last deck, I know you guys have seen this as well. These aren't really like new. I'm just showing you because they are still my favorite decks. And also, if you've never seen any of my favorites video, you won't have seen them. So this is the Mayan Oracle. Got this when I was in Australia. And this is just amazing. This deck has to do with the Mayan calendar and the galactic language of light. It's a really in-depth system channeled by Jose Aguilas, and this deck is not designed by Jose Aguilas, but he wrote a bunch of amazing books, and so this deck is based off of those teachings, and that it's really it's really about synchronicity and the energy we came onto the planet, why the planet is the way it is, all of this, and it's really, really quite amazing. And I have been delving slowly into learning about the Mayans. The Mayans were also connected to Atlantis, so it's a lot of really cool energy and stuff. So I highly recommend this deck. It is one of the most on-point decks that I have, and so I highly recommend it if you really want to step into living a synchronistic life and really just delving into a more balanced, natural rhythm, if that makes sense. So I love this. This deck is a deck I usually will pull. I now pull one once a week, which has been amazing, but it used to be that I only pulled it on like really special days or occasions, and it was always mind-blowing. So that's that deck. So the next two things are my two headscarves, which is this one and this one. I love this because this is that creative orange energy of the sacral chakra, and it's just super yummy and light. And this is my other one, which I'm sure if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen me wear. I started wearing these, they kind of coincided with each other around the time I shaved my head, and as I was going vegan and stepping into my psychic abilities. And I find when I go out in public nowadays, I get quite a sensory overload. With the people around me, with my guides, just a lot of stuff. And I have found that when I wear a headscarf, it really kind of like quiets that a little bit. It's not as, it feels protective. And I know a couple of my other friends who are in the similar space, they'll like wear a hood up a lot. And they say that it helps them for the same reason. I'm not really sure why it works. I can imagine that since it's a physical different frequency around your head, that it would block a bit of that. But like I was just at a restaurant last night with John Michael, and I had it up and I took it off because I didn't want to get anything on it while I was eating, and I was just like, whoa. Like I was surprised at how much, because I don't usually take it off just like in the middle of walking around, and so I was like kind of surprised at how much, and we were in a restaurant, so it was like really kind of hectic. And it's been really interesting because, and I think I'm going to do a whole video on it, but it's been really interesting because I've been getting a lot of really weird looks when I wear the headscarf from just a lot of people, and I think that's really sad because John Michael notices it more than I do, and so I've been noticing it more because I've been with him, but like people just give me the weirdest looks, and I've been like called out and asked, you know, if, you know, are you Hindu, or like, you know, are you from India, or, you know, you can tell people think that I might be Muslim. And I just think that's so sad that people are so willing to judge someone based off of a piece of cloth. For one, the way I wear it is not even traditionally the way someone from, you know, the Islamic faith would wear it, for one. Not that that's an issue, obviously, but like, it's very ignorant, and I just think that's really sad. And so it's been kind of hard because like I wear it for my own personal beliefs. I actually like how it looks. I really like it. It's really a part of my outfit, but also I have a specific reason for wearing it, and I just find that it's a really interesting experience that I've been having with the headscarf. So if any of you guys, I know a lot of like my friends on Instagram and things like that who kind of have a similar style as I do, because I know a lot of people in Australia, kind of like the hippie group, wore a lot of headscarves just as a style thing. And have you guys had any weird experiences? Like, comment down below if you wear a headscarf as just a fashion piece or whatever. Like, have you experienced people looking at you sideways? You know, like, I live in New England, in the States, so it's mostly white people, like 98% white people. And it can be a little like, people are a little like, they kind of stick their nose up at people and things like that. So I don't know if it's just where I'm living. Maybe if I was in California or Australia or whatever, no one would care. But it's been a really interesting experience for me. And I'm just wondering if you guys have the same experience. But I personally wear it because it really honestly helps me clear the energetic noise. So I don't know if have you guys found that, and maybe if like you're having an issue with sensory overload, headscarf might be a good idea for you. So I just wanted to mention that because I literally wear these pretty much every time I go out. It's very unusual for me to go out. I will occasionally go out without one if I'm feeling pretty grounded. Most of the time I'll do this, and it's really helpful. So that might be something, if you're feeling like that sensory overload, something you might consider doing, because it's been awesome for me, and yeah, it's been interesting. All right, and last but not least is food and health. Oh, I did just want to put on a side note, this has become one of my new favorite items because our cats are insane. John Michael's cats are insane. And our youngest cat, Turtle, is a demon. Like, oh my god, he climbs on everything, knocks everything over, runs around the house like a crazy person. And finally I was like, I'm done. We need to do some cat training. And we got this a couple days ago, and he's gotten so much better. Like, oh my god, I was like weirdly excited about this. I was like, anytime John Michael's on, I'm like, I got it. And so it's amazing. A couple of squirts of water and your cat will be trained. So I highly recommend, if you have an unruly cat, get a water bottle. It is like the best thing ever. And this one, like, we got this from the pet store. I think we got it at Petco for a couple dollars. It's a reptile mister, and I love this because it's got a really like good aim. It's not like a mist, it's like a and this has been a lifesaver because our plants and furniture and birds, so much more peaceful in the house. So I highly recommend if you have cat issues, and I'm saying this being a cat, I'm from the feline race, I approve this. Demon child. Okay, anyway, moving on. This is a part of my mental health. Alright, so on to food and health. Alright, so as you guys know, John Michael and I are vegan. John Michael's going vegan. I am practicing veganism. And so we are trying all these new products and delving into really having a good vegan, healthy diet, which has been awesome. And one of the things that we've been really excited about in trying all of their different products are the Guardian vegan like meat replacements. And so these are the only ones we have in our refrigerator right now, but this is the 7-grain crispy tenders. If you are looking for kind of a list of, basic vegan replacement, or, like meat, dairy, and eggs replacement, I do have a video down on my channel. It's probably from a handful of months ago, called My Favorite Vegan Replacements, or something like that. You'll see it. Vegan alternatives, I think. If you want a good list of that, go check out that video for sure. These are amazing. These were the ones I started with. These taste exactly like chicken tenders. You cannot tell the difference. It's amazing. We just recently tried their ground beef, where like I literally opened like the frozen bag and it smelled like ground beef, and we put it in our tacos. And we've had friends who aren't even vegan. They're like, wow, you can't even tell. I've tried the fish. The fish is good, like taste-wise. The texture isn't quite perfect, but the taste and everything is on point. And they have a couple of other chicken things. They have an orange chicken, like an Asian chicken, and then so you can put the sauce on or not. So that's kind of like a crispy, like the rounder chicken pieces. And then they have the ones that have no batter on them, which are really good. And we use those in some of our tacos with the chickpeas. It's kind of like the meat base. And then we just recently tried the steak tip pieces, which we think tastes a little more like sausage, but it's really good. We use it in our stir fries and stuff. So I highly recommend this brand. It's Guardian, and you can get it just at Hannaford. And so if you don't have a Hannaford around you, it's probably going to be in like your typical grocery store, at least in the States, I would assume. I'm not sure about in other countries. I know like when I went to Australia, they just had completely different brands, and I had to like get used to them. It was kind of funny. So then when I came back, I had to get used to these ones. So, but there is made with there's plant protein in these. They're kosher, non-GMO, dairy-free, blah, 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 always vegan. These are awesome. Highly recommend it if you are going vegan and you would like some meat. Okay, next we have these condoms, and these are from Sustain Natural. And if you guys have been following my channel for a while, Sustain Natural sent me a box of their products to review, and so I did an unboxing. If you'd like to go see that, you can check that out. And I have been using all of their products over the last several months, so I'm not going to give you the review on this, but John Michael and I will be reviewing all of these products in an upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. We have tried all the products, and we want to give you our honest opinion on all of them, and it's been really fun. So definitely check that out, coming soon. So yeah, Sustain Natural. Whee! All right, so the last two products are from Sacred Tree Herbals, the health place that I mentioned before, wherever that was. Okay, yeah, all right, anyway. So the two things that have just been an absolute freaking lifesaver, and I'll start with these ones because these are the first things I got. So when we found the shop, I asked her if she had charcoal tablets, and she doesn't have them made, but she like, I have a ton of charcoal, I will make you some, come back in a few hours. So I was like, oh my god, that's amazing, because I was not able to find them. We don't really have like a health food store, like in the like a big health food store in the general vicinity, so they've been kind of hard to find. And I was buying charcoal tablets from like Rite Aid like a few years ago, but apparently they stopped making them while I was in Australia, which is really not cool. So anyway, charcoal is amazing for digestion, but even more so for if you're nauseous. Basically it like, if I can explain like what I've been told happens, it like surrounds whatever in your body and helps flush it out. And it doesn't like make you feel any different. It's not like it's like, oh, like you get, you know, comes out really fast and everywhere. It's not a diuretic. It just really, it like neutralizes whatever's not making you feel well, and just like basically it surrounds it so it can't affect your body anymore, and like just flushes it out. And I think it also helps make your body more alkaline, if I'm not mistaken. So came back to the store a few hours later. She gave me 22 tablets for $4. I was like, what? She literally like made them while I was gone. She's like the best. Sarah is the freaking best. So she made these for me, and they have just been an absolute lifesaver. They like help with nausea like within like 10 minutes. Like they're awesome. So one of my favorites. Hadn't had them in a really long time, and I'm just so thankful. The other thing that I got from the Sacred Tree Herbals is this, which is tea that, okay, now the best thing about this shop is like you literally go in and she like mixes the herbs. Like she's so freaking awesome. Like I was like, I'm having this problem, and she was like do, 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 and it was like, whoa. If you do follow me on Instagram, you'll see like before she like mixed it up, like what it looked like, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. So this, I had a urinary tract infection, and it's still like we're on the tail end of it, thank God, and it's pretty much gone now. But I had a urinary tract infection, and I was just so miserable, like so freaking miserable. And we went, you know, to the store and got, you know, like stuff to deal with it, and it was kind of working, kind of not. So I went to Sarah and I said, hey, do you have anything for urinary tract infections? She mixes up this tea in like 4 or 5 minutes and says, here, take this every day. And this has really been helping. It was helping pretty well, but then like she actually had me add another type of herb, and I forget what it was. Start with a B. Anyway, it has just like knocked it out of the park. I've been able to stop taking what I was taking from the store, and this has just been awesome. So she had me take a quart of this a day tea. So it's like a tea. Not like a tea, it is a tea. And it looks like, I don't know if you guys can see this. It's got like flowers in it and all these like leaves, and so cool. So I had to go get a little tea strainer, which is super cute. It's got like moons and stars on it, from the other health food store in town. And basically, and I just wanted to show you guys, this is my tea for today. I put like a tablespoon of this tea in here and put hot water in here. If I can, I try to make this and have it steep overnight, and then I'll like heat it up in the morning on the stove. And then I add a little agave to it, and this is amazing. So then I put like the little strainer in my cup and just pour out, you know, like a cup in the morning, and I'll have some in the afternoon, and this stuff has been just so cool. So I just wanted to show you guys that like making this awesome tea, I know it sounds really stupid, but like I was making the tea and in this like mason jar, I'm like, I feel so cool. So this is awesome, and now that we have the strainer, me and John Michael want to be doing more teas, like loose leaf, and getting them more from Sarah and other places, because then you can really know what's in the tea and you can make your own teas. I'm going to be going to one of her herbal classes and learning how to make teas and things like that, so I'm really, really excited. I want to be working more with herbs. It's something that I've been drawn to do in the last few months, so I want to take some herbal classes. I have several books that I'm working on right now. So this has just been really, really cool, and a really cool like first step into the whole herbal world. And you know, as a practicing witch and someone who's into holistic and natural stuff, you know, more sustainable things, I believe all of our medicine can come from what we eat and what we put in our bodies, and you know, the vibration we hold. And so a lot of that has to do with being connected to earth and using the earth for what it's meant for. So this is the tea. It's been amazing. I can vouch and say it has been really, really helpful. And now I'm just drinking this, and even if I feel like it's coming on a little bit, I'll drink a good glass of this, and it seems to be helping. So anyway, so this is my last favorite. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about any of the products, please comment down below. Also, again, if you like this video, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Hope you all have a wonderful day, many blessings, namaste, and don't forget, it's all about the soul journey.